Well, welcome back, everybody. Huge day on Wall Street and exciting to say the least. So, as we take a look here, I want to back up for a minute, walk through a bunch of things with you that are very important, and help you understand a little bit about the mindset that helped me ultimately gross roughly $7,000 today. Again, past performance, not indicative of future results, but wide range markets, wide range activity today really opened up just a plethora of opportunities up and down. So let's take a look at a couple of things. First of all, as we look to the SPY on the weekly basis and on the daily basis, you'll recall in previous videos I warned you about that 390, 394 area that was so important. And I also, going way back several weeks now, we talked about this big fat resistance up here and then talked about the multiple distribution bars. Why is that important? Because, well, distribution is resistance. And so what happened was we couldn't pierce that all-important level on the weekly chart there, and then that led us to 2 more weeks where every attempt to buy was sold off. Every attempt to buy was sold off here. So that pushed us right down through that other level, leading us to even further selling. And of course, now we have news, which we'll talk more about in a few minutes. So as we take a look where we're at now with the daily charts, we have a lot of resistance coming back down on top of us until we get back above this 400, 402 area. I'm really not looking at too much more than, day trades from the long side, unless it's like an inverse ETF in that, and we'll talk more about that in just a moment as well. So let's take a look at a few things I want you to look at right now. So one of the things I want you to look at right now is the SIVB stock. So this is a huge learning lesson. I cannot emphasize this enough. When somebody says, hey, now's the time to buy a stock, well, maybe we should take a look at those all-important tools inside of Wealth Charts, those Wealth Charts exclusive tools, such as the Champion Trend Pack, right? So we can see, have we fired off recently a wealth signal or range break? Have we gone ahead and gotten breakout forecasters, which means after a pullback, we expect a higher high? Have we gotten like the TRP? I did the TRP trainings last Wednesday and this past Saturday, so that's over now, but we talked to you and we showed you this. Look what happened here, right? We want to break above red dots in an uptrend or focus on the blue dots, and we want to look down below and see if we're above the zero line. And of course, you have tools like the ITP, see if we're throttling down below here, right? So what ended up happening was this took off, pulled back after the pullback, which this forecasted, the breakout forecaster, it pushed back up and had a breakout and went back to the upside, right? Got up there to target 2 ultimately, then had a big negative divergence. So you can see that there in the price action versus the indicators. So with that being said, then the market turned right around and rolled down. Now here's the rub about this whole thing, and this is really what I'm trying to get at. Now this market's been going down, as you can see, for quite a while, and it was sell signals, got down below the channel, then over here it got down below the zero line, so that opens it up for calculator traders from my perspective as well, not just the confident traders as we taught you last week. Well, it ends up going down to target 2, pulls back, breaks through target 2, and becomes a runaway. Now, then down the hatch it goes. It has the breakout forecaster, which means after a pullback, we expect a lower low. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, you have financial media. I won't call them out. Everybody hopefully knows who they are by now, telling you, buy. SIVB or SVB is so great. It's so great. It's so great. Buy. You know what it really reminded me of was Enron. That's what it really reminded me of, frankly. People are telling you, well, gee, if you liked it at 100, you'll love it at 50, right? That kind of thing. Buy. And, down the hatch it went till, of course, they halted trading here. But, all those different things that we talked to you about here, wealth signals early in the trend, breakout forecasters, so after a pullback, we're expecting a lower low, breaking through target 2 for a runaway. All these things were here. And so a real theme that I'm trying to hit with you here in this process is if you're being told by mainstream media that you should buy something, please look at the chart. It's funny, the same people that are making these terrible calls like they did with Bear Stearns, like they said, with Theranos, then with SVB. Those are the same people that say, oh, technicals is voodoo. Well, you know what? Again, past performance is not indicative of future results, but this $7,000 is not voodoo. The 30 real money trading competitions around the world is not voodoo, and so on and so forth. So the reality is, what happens is, what's really happening behind the scenes, is reflected, in the price charts there, because Wall Street just can't keep secrets very well, and there's people that are paid very, very, very good money to know things before you and I do, right? So what we do is we focus on looking at the charts to see what they're actually doing, not what they're coming on public TV or in reports and saying. And I cannot emphasize how important that is. Another point that I want to emphasize with this as well: the market had wide ranges back and forth using strategies that I had shared with you this morning. And of course, we did the special multi-hour class this morning. And by the way, for all of you that have the TRP, we're not selling it right now or nothing special. That's already over. But what I wanted to let you know, for all of you that did get it, I did a very special 2-hour class this morning. So if you're happen to be watching this video at night because you couldn't be there this morning, make sure you watch that class, because I did some really incredible stuff that I've never done in the TRP class before. You're not going to want to miss that. So check the Trader Rescue Package Resource Center for the video. So as we take a look here, so this market had great movement up, buy side there. In fact, during the TRP event this morning, I was surprising people with why I was telling them I was looking for long side trades. Well, if you look at this here, this market, just even from this area, roughly 3850 up to 3900, that's 50 S&P points, gang. 50 points. That's $2,500 a contract just in that move right there. Okay, then it turned around and went ahead and moved right back to the downside here. And you can see the sell side pushing up, pushing down here as well. And you can see roughly the 88 area down to as low as roughly 58 areas, about 30 S&P point movement down there. So about $1,500 additional, on a contract. Then it went ahead and went right back up again. I mean, this was just so fun. 38.70 right back up here to nearly 3,900 there, so nearly $1,500 a contract. Again, another 30 points back up. So 2,500, 1,500, 1,500, a range of motion there. And so a key point that I want to share with you on that is, don't forget, for those of you that can't trade short, right? You don't want to short, you can't trade short, and there's nothing wrong with that, gang. The thing is, I hit that extensively, the training on Saturday in particular for TRP that I did for you guys. I hit that extensively, talking about the inverse ETFs and the opportunities there, whether it's like the SPXS, it's the UQQ, and so on and so forth, the inverse ETFs, so that while this is going down, this would be firing off buy side signals, right? So like breaking above a red dot in, that uptrend there, breaking up that's a fresh reentry, right? Over here, buy side above the channel when it's crossing above the zero line, and target midpoint's the initial target for a calculated trader. Target 2 is the target for a confident trader, right? And you saw that happen over and over. Calculated, confident, right? So the thing is, all these things that we talked about came to fruition. And so now, bringing it back all full circle here, as we're looking at these markets, there's going to be a host of opportunities. I'm going to be watching here very closely the bottom of this. So this is making a distribution bar, kind of what's called a reverse inventory retracement bar. I want to see if we can start breaking down below this 3080, see if that can create more sell-off, more panic, and of course breaking down also below these accumulation bars. So remember, we had the accumulation bars up here that were major resistance. These are accumulation bars where we had 3 of those back to back. Can we break through that area and open up some more throttles to the downside? That's where those inverse ETFs might come in handy. Consult your own registered financial representative and risk trading plan. Just merely going and telling you what I'm looking at. And on the upside, I will definitely be looking for individual long side trades, but I'm going to really want to see if I can get ideally that hourly chart chart, in there and everything, because we just have so many layers of downtrending falling resistance here. I'd prefer to have it, push back ups to roll back over for shorts is what I'll be primarily looking at. But nonetheless, with these wide range moves, and I just told you this weekend, there's going to be these incredible opportunities I was trying to prepare you for into today, and here they are. Ta-da, right? Again, I gross $7,000 plus, but that's not the point. Because past performance is not indicative of future results. If I start breaking these systems, if I start breaking these ways I'm doing this, bad things can happen. And so the reality is that we're focusing on the kind of things I taught you in that special class this morning. So make sure you watch it. And I wanted to give you an update on what I'm kind of looking at. So to recap there, the daily charts and that I'm looking at these key, the lows of today to see if that reverse inventory retracement bar will kick in further to the downside. I'll be looking for selective longs, but I really want to see the hourly chart ideally with me as much as possible for that. I prefer to actually have pullbacks back up to look for re-entry shorts, unless this is all depending on any sort of other news that comes out that more banks are failing, more bailouts are coming. We've all heard that there's going to be some selective bailing out now of from the fallout of what's happened in the Federal Reserve meetings this weekend. So with that being said, this is outside the news dependent, but then quickly that news will be absorbed and then the markets will go right back to the technicals again. So that's the big strategy. Those are the big things I'm focusing on. I wanted to show you some of the ways that we're looking from a buy side, sell side perspective. And again, make sure everybody that's a part of our TRP student family watches this morning video. I've never done a video like that, so you're going to love that. Okay, have a great rest of your night here, gang. Thanks for being the world's greatest students. And boy, there's so much more coming to this fun ride. I'll look forward to going out and seeing you in upcoming videos here. Take care, everyone. Good night. Bye-bye.